So, I guess I'm back to making videos. It's been a couple years. Let's touch base a little bit. So, it's been a couple years since I've made a video. Quite honestly, there's a lot to catch up on. But, simple story is I kind of realized there's a lot of things I'm not crazy passionate about. And one of them is definitely not making barber videos. You see, I think the issue with that was the fact that I think these last couple of years, I've been so dedicated to trying to be a better version of myself. There's a lot of things I did learn about myself. I did learn that I do like to be productive, but I know that I can be very counterproductive. And by that, it's actually costed me a lot of time. And when I say a lot of time, I'm talking about time with family, time with friends, time with honestly doing the things that I want to do. I'm a very creative individual. I like all kinds of things. I mean, you see, I'm one of these people who buys camera gear as a hobby, or to be honest, woodworking tools. You never know when you're going to need them. But I think my issue that I've come across that as a person who loves being productive, sometimes we spend too much time trying to create systems instead of just trying to follow systems. And I think that's what's happening with me. I've realized that I love what I do. I love cutting hair. I love engaging with people. I love learning about people. And I love being creative, which is what all the things, and these are the things that my job, my career gives me. But there isn't satisfaction. There's definitely more that I can do with my life. And I've realized that that's exactly why I stopped making videos. Like, don't get me wrong, I genuinely love content regarding the barber industry. I'm just not passionate about it. And the way I realized that I'm not passionate about it is because I would sit there and compare my videos all the time with individuals who were very passionate about it. And you can always tell when someone's passionate about it when they're doing their filmmaking. That's something that I'm not about, and I've been trying to force myself to be passionate about. So let me just break down exactly what I mean by that. I think it's very overwhelming when you're trying to force yourself to really like what you're doing. Don't get me wrong, I love my industry. I love cutting hair. I love everything that comes with it. But I think my issue was I didn't love making content regarding my industry. And I realized that in the last couple of years, hence the reason why I stopped making videos in general, because I felt stuck. I felt like I needed to force myself to do something I didn't want to do, nor did I feel passionate about. Like, truth be told, I like making content about my kids. I like taking videos of my family. I like, taking videos regarding productivity and what things help me. I love the documentation of it. I like being able to sit there and analyze problems that happen and why they didn't work out the way I thought they'd work out. And I think that's where the industry just couldn't do that for me, or at least filmmaking couldn't do it for me. And that's why I decided to recreate my channel. Like right now, for example, I am literally sitting in my office right now, home office, with my setup. I'm very proud of my setup, and I'm very excited about my setup. And I've spent a lot of money that my wife probably thinks is very stupid. Let alone too, the average individual probably thinks it's stupid. But again, I genuinely enjoy creating good content with great videos. That's why I invest heavily into a lot of like camera gear. And if it ain't camera gear, it's definitely woodworking tools and stuff like that. But in my case, I found a passion for taking videos. So that's why I wanted to kind of jump on here and kind of do a reintroduction, especially with the fact that this is like a new year, new me kind of thing. And when I say introduction, it's a reintroduction, obviously, to my channel. Obviously, some of you have known me for Geolocal Barber. I have many projects happening right now, including maintaining my shops. And when I say shops, I own 2 barber shops in the Bay Area. Not hard to find if you really wanted to look it up. But I genuinely do love creating content and having good content, that is. For example, being able to have B-rolls like this and having a quick setup. I mean, it's taken me only 4 years to kind of create or to have all this kind of gear, but here I am with all this gear and I want to put it to use. And I didn't know it was going to take me thousands of dollars worth of gear to make it happen. But, you finally get the realization of what you are and who you are. And that's the reason why I found myself in this position where I want to recreate my channel. Now, the problem, I think the hardest thing about it now is obviously having structure to it and making sure that you stick to it. And that's where I am. I'm in this position right now where I want to utilize the things that I've bought, and I feel pretty comfortable with the things that I have right now. And yes, has it costed me money? 100%. But I think what costs more money, and for a lot of people, is trying to figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. In my case, I know I have a shit ton of gear that I know will never work for me anymore. And I think that's like 90% of all of us out there. We think we need X, Y, Z. I probably spent more money on trying to figure out what I need than what I actually need. And I think that's where I was last year. And this year, I plan on being a little bit better about utilizing my time, having structure, and being able to do the things that I want to do. And when I say that, I'm talking about creating content that I want to create. The funny thing is, I'm actually working. I'm technically supposed to be working right now, but I had an hour gap, so I decided to film this video just to show you that you don't really need too much time to actually create something. Obviously, the editing takes a big portion of it, but you get the picture. So what I want you to, why am I making this video? I'm making this video to recreate my brand, my channel, and I want to start focusing on certain areas instead of the barber industry. One of them being obviously finding out different ways to how to be productive, how to maintain a healthy life balance, being a business owner and also a loving father, a husband, a son, a brother. I want to showcase some of the trips I take with my family. I also love, taking videos I love creating really cool content and imagery and I think I'm pretty creative. I just haven't really had the chance to actually do something with it. But I do plan on using this platform, YouTube, and maybe social media if you want to follow me, to kind of demonstrate some of the things that I really want to showcase. Again, what you'll get out of this channel would be productivity hacks, what seems to work, maybe some life lessons that I've personally learned. Maybe you can learn from that too, from my examples. Also, some of my family trips, some of the imagery that I create, some of the small videos that I make for people, and for just in general, just small projects. I think it's going to be cool. I think I'm going to try to showcase it in a way where I think a lot of people can learn from it. And that's ultimately what I want to be. I've always had this lifestyle. I've always had this belief system in my head. Everyone's going to be using each other. And the sooner you understand that, the more of a healthy life you'll live. And that's what I plan on doing. I plan on being that, I guess you say, that individual who's going to be an example for the individual who's trying to learn something. I've had to learn my own way. I've never had a guide or a teacher to tell me. It's all been through trial and error, but I created a structure that now works for me. But also individuals out there in the world who can learn from me, and then they can try something out, and if it doesn't work, they just learned a new solution. So with that being said, I really do hope that you guys do take some of the things that I showcase on here, whether it's the imagery or, maybe even creating like examples of how you can do certain things, whether it's low budget, high budget. Again, I'm just an average individual just trying to climb up the ladder and trying to be an example for the next individual who wants to grow. With that being said, I hope you can get some sort of content from this or some sort of example or lesson or learn as much as I'm going to be learning from this whole process, because ultimately, I think that's what we're all. It's the one thing that it's the one thing I'm grateful with the barber industry. It's always taught me this one thing that triumphs over everything else, that surpasses everything else. And that's, we're going to be forever students. Everyone's a forever student. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this channel. I certainly will. Um, but until then, take care, be well, and catch you in the next video. Oh, that's right. And if you want to follow me, go ahead and follow me. I'll go ahead and put my social media down there if you want. I really don't care. It's just more of me documenting my life. And then maybe down the road, I can maybe look back on it, see what worked and what didn't work. But information will be down there in the description. Catch you in the next one. Peace.